Yo, what's up, Diamond family? It's your man Vivi, and welcome back to VVS Sound. As you guys know, I'm here every week dropping off gems, teach you to record and mix your music better. So, hey, if that sounds good to you, stick around, man. Look, I got a really crazy video for you guys today. I'm going to show you the 3 things that you're doing or not doing that are probably ruining your mix. All right, so stay tuned, man. If you stick around to the end, I got a 4th tip that's also really crazy. I really want you guys to check it out. So, look, we're going to start digging in. We're going to use our free template. If you don't have a template, go get this one, man. This is the one. I'm telling you, it's going to change the way that you record. It's going to change the way that you mix. It's going to change the way that you sound immediately. Like, if you want those songs that get noticed, you know, you turn your song on and people look up, they're like, yo, who is that? This is the template that's going to help you do that. This is the channel that's going to help you do that. Stick around. All right, let's jump right in, man. Issue is here at the beginning. So if you look here at the beginning, the problem is there's this little bit of space that's added. This happens anytime you rip a song from YouTube. It happens a lot of time if you just export an MP3 from, Logic or Ableton or whatever. This little bit of dead space at the beginning is added. So all we have to do is hit the tab key, which is tab to transient. It's going to move our cursor to the start, the actual start of the beat. Then if we press the A key, it's just going to delete all that dead space. We can drag our beat back so it can actually land on the 1. Now, for 1, this is going to make it a lot easier to set the tempo. And for 2, everything is now going to be actually on the grid, and it's going to be a lot easier to work in our session. So let's go ahead and see what our tempo actually is. I think it might be a little slower than 155. We'll see.
Hey, yo, cut off. Cook it up.
All right, so the next thing is if you zoom in here, we know that our transient should land on this bar because, again, everything is locked into the grid. So if we come back 1 beat, boom, we can see, okay, it's 154. That's where the tempo is. If we play it,
hey, yo, cut off. Cook it up.
boom, tempo is set, right? So we can turn the click off. We know the tempo is set. So the first tip, make sure that you tab the transient. So you can go ahead and get that little dead space out at the beginning of the beat, and it's going to make everything else easier. Specifically, the next tip. The next tip is using grid mode. You should be using grid mode instead of slip mode, and I'm going to tell you why. So say we get to a tough part of the song, and you're in the verse. Let's just say it's like the last verse right before the hook, and you want to put in a drop for effect, right? If you're on grid mode, if you're in grid mode, you can do this while the artist is still recording, because you know that if I cut along the grid and I can just hit delete, I know it's going to be on beat because I've already set my tempo to the grid. There's no guessing involved. It makes you so much faster, makes you so much more efficient. It makes you a lot quicker when it comes to recording and being inspired. And time is inspiration. So the more time you spend fiddling around and messing with stuff, you're killing your inspiration. You're killing the artist's inspiration. All the downtime is really killing the excitement and the creativity. So make sure that we can get things done quickly, and setting up your grid is the key way to make everything happen really quickly. So if we're playing back and we just want to add a drop, let's see what we got. Right, so drops and things just happen a lot quicker. Right, if we want to add another one right here, that quick. Right? So super cool. Now let's take the drop a little bit faster. If you just go up here to the audio suite a little bit further, you go to pitch shift and you hit verify. It's actually going to smooth out the ends of these drops. And it's just a little tape stop effect. But if you hit render right here, right? Just the little things like that. When you get back to the other end, you just want to speed it back up. And these little subtleties are really going to change your songs. Just those little tips right there are going to take it to the next level, right? So you want to make sure that you're tabbing the transient at the beginning to get rid of the dead space. You want to make sure that you're actually recording in grid mode rather than slip mode. Because again, even on top of doing drops, when it comes to moving hooks and things like that, if you're on the grid, you can drop the hook in everywhere it needs to be placed without having to worry about it, because everything is locked to the grid. So you want to make sure that you're using grid mode. Now, the third thing that I want to show you guys is you should be using a trim plugin or you should be using the clip gain to adjust the volume of your beat and not the volume fader. So I'm going to show you what the difference is, right? So let's open up the mixer really quickly, and I'm going to bypass basically everything we have on this beat channel, and then I'll hit play. All right, so you notice for one, the beat is much louder. So let's turn it down by the same amount. Let's see how much we had it turned down in the trim plugin. We were taking down 5.2 dB. Let's go ahead and do the same thing here. 5.2. All right, let's hear. So what I want you to realize is it's not really, you hear less of the volume, but it's still clipping. Versus if we just bring the trim back, you can actually see that the meter is actually peaking lower. So when we turn down the fader, you don't actually turn down the volume of the beat as it contributes to the overall volume of the song. You're just turning down what you hear. But when you use the trim plugin to turn it down, you're actually reducing the gain and reducing its overall impact to the entire track. And when you do that, you can get your whole song louder, you can get your whole song more balanced, you can get everything to fit together better, right? So keep that in mind. Make sure that you're using your trim plugin when it comes down to, adjusting the beat and turning the beat down. Make sure you're using the trim plugin rather than the fader. Now, after the fact, once we've got everything set and we're down here, toward the end of our mix and we're trying to balance out the beat and the vocals, you can definitely use the faders at that point. But before that, we want to ensure that everything is coming in at a nice, consistent level and nothing is clipping before we even start adding effects, before we start recording, before we start dropping in vocals. Okay? So those are the 3 tips that I have for you, man. I think those are really going to change things for you. I think those are really going to improve your recordings. They're really going to help you to get the most out of what you're trying to do. Because really, it's a lot of subtle things, man. If you make these very small steps, just like using verify on the ends of your cuts, doing those little small things really are going to help to elevate your sound, and those little small subtleties are what are going to give you the edge over the next person. All right, so make sure that you guys stay tuned. I know I promised you guys one more tip, and it's super simple, man. You heard everything that I said here. The last tip is, hey man, ignore all of that. All right, if the song calls for it, put it in the slip mode and put things off beat. You know what I mean? If the song feels good with the tempo slightly shifted, you don't have to worry about doing the tab A. You know what I mean? If you want to put a drop that's off the grid, do it. The end of the day, it's about being creative. So any tip or any tool or any rule I give you is meant to be broken in the name of creativity. So if you have something more creative, don't listen to any of this. Ignore it all and keep pushing. All right, man, that's all I got for you guys. My name is Vivi. If you need any help, man, drop me a line down below. If you want to pick up our free template, it's also down below. Hey, look, man, if you need anything, my email's down below. All right, stay humble, make diamonds only. Peace. So I hope that video really helped you out, and I hope you're ready to take it another step further. So the video you just watched is actually a part of our vocal mixing masterclass. This is the guide to recording and mixing pro vocals right where you are. So if you want to sound like you recorded in a multi-million-dollar studio right at home, this is the guide for you. If you want to make the best music of your life, this is the guide for you. If you want to make those songs that make people jealous, like, yo, where did he record that? This is the guide for you. If you want to make songs that get noticed and that stand out from the crowd, this is the guide. I'm going to give you the tips that nobody else is giving you. I'm going to give you the tips that you learn from actually doing this. So hey, if you're interested and you need that extra motivation, that extra push to take your songs to the very next level, to the highest level, check out our mixing masterclass down below. All right, for less than the price of a decent mix, you can learn how to mix all your songs to sound great. That's all I got for you, man. Diamonds only. Peace.